Alright, so I'm going to be showing you guys a game on Malinovka, and this is a nail-biter, man. This game was really, really close. I rewatched this replay very quickly just so I could remember exactly how this game went, so I can share it with you guys, like, when it's fresh in my mind, right? A lot of times what I like to do is, when I have these close ones, is record them right after, but I just don't really have the time to do this anymore since I will sometimes save, like, over a dozen videos for you guys in a couple of sessions that I play on my days off, and then I, throughout the week, will record them, right? So it's been like 3 or 4 days since I played this game, and I sit in this standard bush for probably, I don't know, 3, maybe 4 minutes or something like that. Might not even be that long. I end up getting blind fired. I'm just gonna go on fast forward here. Yeah, it wasn't even 2 minutes into the game. I get hit by the Pollock and the Super Chaffee like at the exact same time, which is kind of weird. I don't know if maybe these guys were in a platoon or something. Perhaps it doesn't look like it, but it's just weird that they would both target me at the pretty much the exact same time, right? And you can figure out that someone is sitting in this bush just by looking at the map, right? It's like a 2 plus 2 equals 4 thing. If you see that your entire team got spotted in this area, like, it's pretty likely that someone is going to be sitting in this bush, and people just blind fire anyway, even when they're not really sure. So it's not uncommon. I'm just saying that it's weird that they both would do that at the exact same time. So unfortunately, it leads to me to lose like 2/3 of my HP, right? Even like maybe 3/4 of my HP. And in a situation like this, when the game is still pretty close, it's 3-2, and the HP differential is only 138 right now, visible to me, right? I don't want to throw away my HP. The 5916 is still full HP back here, and so I kind of just camp this out, even though I know that my guys are pushing in. If I were the only light tank, I would have already made the play to try and get here and help spot for them, or at least get to this bush. But with my HP, I really don't want to do that. I'd rather the 5916 do that for me, and I was about to say something in the chat, but sometimes, guys, I get already, like, just too involved in the chat, and I was doing that in this session, so I'm just gonna let it go. Like, if the 5916 wants to push in, then he can push in, but I kind of want him to read this situation because he's the one that has HP, and I could really use the, extra hand for him to approach this bush line, or even get into here or something, so that way, I can also push in with him and provide support. But I only want to provide support at this point. I don't want to be the lead light tank because I'm a one-shot to some people on the map, right? So what we're going to do is advance with this guy as he comes up to this area. This is a really good play by him, and so he adjusts well, and now we're about 5 minutes into this game, and what I'm going to do is just sit here and support him. He's going to do the spotting because he gets into the perfect bush line to do so, and now I can just, pick away at this tog. I can try and hit these guys that are sort of behind this hill if they poke erroneously, right, I will say, but really the way the terrain is here, you're not going to get clean shots. So what I decide to do is move up now, and again, we're only 5.5 minutes into this game, so you really want to play Malinovka carefully. There's a lot of people that get very impatient on this map. I don't want to leave my guys blind here, but at the same time, you don't want to be rushing in just yet. You want to try and spot like one person, then another person, then another person, and do a little bit at a time. I tell you guys this a lot, but you really want to do this, man, because if you just run in, you risk throwing away all your HP and leaving your team blind. So what I'm doing here is just working with the 5916. We're both in slightly different areas, right? So each of us is in a slightly different area, which is going to give us a slightly different view on the enemy team. So we have 2 spots of vision here with good view range, and eventually I will move up even more to try and help my team a little bit more, but I'm trying to create like a pocket for myself here. This Super Chaffee ends up getting spotted multiple times here, and people just couldn't clean them up. People did not have the angles, right? And that's why I don't want to go running in, because even if I do spot some people back here, it's like, who has the angles at this time, right? Because there is a little ridge line right here. It's a little interesting how this map works, man. It's not wide open. I feel like over here you have easier shots, but there is this gigantic rock formation right here on the east portion of this map. So you do have to kind of work around this if you're going to push down the 0 line, right? So we're just kind of waiting it out here to see what the enemy team is going to do and if we can spot them. We have the AC covering this corner down here, the AC4 experimental. And now I'm going to move up just a little bit more. I'm in this bush, and then I think I even advance into like this one later on. I knock the trees here and I get into here. And there is someone that tries to blind fire this. It's like maybe Artie or someone else tries to blind fire at some point and they miss, thank God. But this game really comes down to the wire, guys, and I want to show you how patient I was playing this and why it's important to be patient on these maps. My Malinovka videos and Prokhorovka videos always seem to get the most views, and it's obvious why. These are the two best spotting maps in the game, arguably. I would, at this point, argue that Westfield, like, I like Westfield almost just as much as I like Malinovka and Prokhorovka. But these are the two best spotting maps in the game. Like if you ask someone who plays light tanks, this is what they're going to tell you: Malinovka and Prokhorovka. So when I make these videos for you guys, I like to really emphasize patience, because I know that a lot of people that are trying to figure out how to spot an enemy team and how to play light tanks are going to be looking at the Malinovka and Prokhorovka videos. And I want to show you guys the patience that it takes to do it properly, right? Like if you're in an EBR 105, you can do whatever you want and dance all around the map, but that's not the point here. The point is playing mid-tier and upper mid-tier, I'll call it, like tier 7 and tier 8, not like these tier 9 and 10s where there's wheelies that are going 90 kilometers an hour, right? You really, really have to be patient. So if you're going to play a tank such as the T21, it's going to require you to be very, very patient and very, very sneaky, right? With concealment and with foliage and just using the game mechanics. So I'm sitting here, there's less than 3 minutes in this game now. We've been on fast forward for quite a bit, guys, but I want to get through this video as quick as I can because it's a lot of just sitting around and waiting to see what's going to happen and trying to spot from a distance, right? But eventually we are going to, and you can see Artie tried to blind fire me there. Very, very I'm actually surprised how aware this Artie player was, right? Like, I was trying to think of the nicest way to say that. Like, it's rare that Artie players are paying attention and will blind fire and knock down trees like that, but I was creating quite a pocket for myself. There's a lot of knockdown trees over here, so I should say I'm not surprised, but it was a good shot and a really good attempt by him, right? And I'm very impressed by that. So eventually what I'm going to do is I actually went into the chat and I said, hey, 5916, YOLO at 1 minute. Like, just run in at 1 minute because I don't want to get a draw, right? So I'm slowing it down to half times just to show you guys. I went around, hit the Chaffee, right? And now we'll finally do the rest of this game on 1 times because I'm about to die here anyway. Leaf goes down, I spot the Leaf, and now I'm just trying to find the Jackson. That's all I'm trying to do at this point is find the Jackson. The Jackson ends up being back in this area, and this is very important, guys. Whenever you die, don't just leave the game. If it's a close one like this, ping the map. Ping the map. Like, I literally pinged the crap out of the map. It said Jackson here, so that the entire team knows where this guy is. 5916 can advance with that in mind, and he ends up spotting the Jackson here, and now these guys will end up cleaning up the Jackson, and with 1 minute left in the game, actually less than that because the Jackson's able to clean up the 5916, already hits this guy with 50 seconds left in the game. So I think we timed it very, very well. We ended up with 12 spots in this game. A lot of those spots came from the beginning, from the initial spots from the standard bush in like E4 area. And yeah, man, this team played well. I had 1 kill, 1278 damage, 2281 spotting visible. The 5916 did a good job. The AC4 experimental had 3 kills. He did a good job. I mean, everyone, even our Leaf, man, our one Leaf had 4 kills, dude. So shout out to that guy. And I think this was a collective effort, but you guys will see kind of what that's looking like in the end plates. I hope this helps you out and really tells you guys how patient you need to be on Malinovka, and it was a mastery, right? So sometimes patience will pay off. I would highly suggest that you try and scout, especially when you're lower on HP, you scout it like this. However, everyone has their own playstyles, guys. You don't always have to follow my playstyle, right? I come to you guys from the perspective of a player, right, that learned how to play light tanks over many years. Like, it's not like I just woke up one day and knew how to do all this, right? I've been playing World of Tanks for years and years, man. And I've developed my skills as a light tank player. And I know I shared this in another video, but I learned that surviving is very important. Surviving to the end of the game is very important. And even when I created this account for YouTube, it was like in 2020 I created this account, my survival rate has gone up like almost like 10%. And with that, my win rate has gone way up, and also my WN8 has gone way up, and other things like that. My kills per game has gone way up. So your survival rate is actually very important to your other statistics. It correlates with pretty much all your other statistics, and I would highly recommend that you guys play more patiently than you probably do play, because a lot of light tank players that I see are just very impatient and they want to try and like YOLO scout and do these things, and it's just not the way the game is meant to be played, especially on a map such as Malinovka. You really want to stay alive and be alive at the very end of the game so you can perform like this, right? We ended up running in at the very end and we got the win for our team. And you can call it YOLO scouting at the end there, but it's like you're either going to win or draw at that point, pretty much, because it's very unlikely that your Artie all the way in the back of the map is going to die in the next minute and a half, so you might as well just go for it. And we did, and this is what we came out with, guys. Again, 12 spots, 2687 spotting, so I really think I did my job as a light tank driver, and then we got 1278 damage as well. And this was a mastery, so at the end of the day, when you're getting masteries, you're definitely doing something right? So 5916 again played a wonderful game. He had even more damage than me, 3 kills. Probably did a lot more spotting than him overall because I got more experience. But look at our Leaf Man, 1736 damage, our Excalibur, AC4. We had a couple people that weren't that great, but I feel like we had a good amount of players on this team that actually performed very well. And their Jackson really tried to hold off as long as he could. He did 2k damage, 3 kills, man, which in that vehicle is pretty dang impressive. And that's all, guys. So I hope this helps you out on this map. And yeah, man, it was a 14-minute battle. So 49 seconds remained at the end of this when Artie hit that guy. Artie hit the Jackson at the end. And that's how we won this one. So if you guys are liking the content, by the way, do sub. It would really help me out. I'm close to 2k subs at the time of me recording this video. So when we do hit the 2k number, I will likely come out with some sort of special session or something like that, and I'll probably make a community post to see what you guys would like. I'll come out with a few different options and see which ones you guys like, and maybe we'll do a couple of them. But that's all. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you for the next one. Take care. Bye-bye now.